For nearly 2 decades, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman were the one couple everyone thought would make it. But since their shocking divorce was finalized, Keith has been living a reality very different from the one you've seen in the headlines. A truth he's finally ready to expose. When the news first broke, it felt like an earthquake hit the entertainment world. For 19 years, they were the golden standard of Hollywood romance. They walked every red carpet hand in hand, spoke about each other with a raw, poetic devotion, and survived personal battles that would have crushed lesser relationships. Yet behind the scenes, the foundation was fracturing. This isn't just another celebrity breakup story filled with standard public relations statements and clean exits. This is a story of a man trying to piece his soul back together through the only medium he has ever truly trusted: music. To understand the depth of Keith's current state, we have to look back at how quickly the dream dissolved. It was September of 2025 when the announcement dropped like a lead weight, sending shockwaves through millions of fans. For years, we saw them as unbreakable. But the filings cited irreconcilable differences, revealing that they had actually been living separate lives since the beginning of that summer. By January of 2026, the divorce was finalized with startling speed. While Nicole immediately began focusing on the future, declaring that she was moving toward what is good and preparing for her upcoming film projects, Keith seemed to retreat. He was suddenly a single man in his late 50s, facing a quiet, empty house in Nashville. The public narrative painted a picture of a mutual, amicable split. But when you look closely at the court documents and the sudden shifts in Keith's behavior, a much more painful reality starts to surface. This was not a clean break. It was a slow, agonizing unraveling of a life built over 2 decades, leaving Keith to grapple with a profound sense of isolation and regret. The first major indicator of how deeply this split affected Keith is the custody arrangement for their 2 daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. In the finalized agreement, the court laid out a schedule that must have been a devastating blow to a devoted father. Nicole was designated as the primary residential parent, securing custody of the girls for a staggering 306 days a year. Keith, on the other hand, was allotted just 59 days. Imagine going from a full-time, tight-knit family unit to seeing your teenage daughters for less than 2 months out of the entire year. For Keith, whose identity has always been closely tied to being a family man, this custody division created a massive emotional void. It changed the very fabric of his daily life, forcing him to adapt to a quiet house where the laughter of his daughters was replaced by an echoing silence. But wait, what if I told you that Keith Urban's response to this heartbreak wasn't just to sit in silence and look at his empty house? What if his ultimate coping mechanism was a creative move, so bizarre, so radically different from anything he has ever done, that it shocked the entire music industry? Just when everyone expected him to release a depressing, acoustic country album filled with tear-jerking ballads about his lost love, Keith did the absolute opposite. He turned to a genre that no one saw coming, creating an artistic shield that would either save his sanity or completely alienate his core fan base. The secret he has been hiding in plain sight isn't in what he says to reporters, but in the music he chose to record. Before we dissect the musical cure he created, we have to look at the family crisis that was unfolding behind closed doors. Within any family, a divorce of this magnitude acts as a seismic event, and the fallout inevitably trickles down to the children. Rumors began to swirl about deep tensions between Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. The public got a rare, unfiltered glimpse into this family friction when Sunday Rose abruptly unfollowed her father on Instagram. Although she eventually refollowed him, the digital gesture spoke volumes about the underlying anger and confusion. Faith was reportedly furious with her sister's public display, exposing a rift between the siblings as they struggled to process their parents' separation. In the middle of this sisterly divide was Keith, watching his daughters clash while knowing his limited 59 days of custody made it incredibly difficult to step in, mediate, and heal those fractured relationships. perhaps the most visceral, undeniable proof of Keith's lingering attachment and emotional struggle is written directly on his skin. For years, Keith was relatively discreet about his personal tattoos, keeping them covered during performances and public appearances. But in the months following the divorce, that discretion vanished. At the Academy of Country Music Awards in Las Vegas, Keith put his body art on full display. His left hand still bears Nicole's middle name, Mary, running down his fingers. His inner right wrist is etched with her initials, and stretching across his neck is the word baby girl, a direct nod to her recent film. Sources close to the singer suggest that Keith has even had these tattoos touched up recently, keeping the ink fresh and vibrant. It is a powerful, almost tragic visual cue. He is literally carrying the physical mark of his ex-wife on his skin every single day, signaling to the world, and perhaps to Nicole herself, that he is not ready to let go of the past. This brings us to the shocking artistic pivot that has left music critics and fans absolutely stunned. On June 12, 2026, Keith released his 13th studio album, titled Flow State, but instead of the banjos, slide guitars, and heartland country anthems that defined his career, listeners were greeted by the smooth, harmony-soaked, laid-back sounds of classic yacht rock. We are talking about faithful, high-fidelity covers of 1970s soft rock classics. This wasn't just a minor stylistic tweak, it was a total genre rebellion. Why would a country music icon, fresh off the most devastating divorce of his life, choose to record songs like Steal Away by Robbie Dupree or Baby Come Back by Player? The answer lies in the deep psychology of musical escapism. Yacht rock is defined by its polished production, its breezy, oceanside aesthetic, and its comforting, nostalgic warmth. For Keith, this genre was a psychological life raft. He did not want to write raw, painful country songs that forced him to relive the divorce night after night on stage. He needed an emotional anesthetic. He needed to wrap himself in the sonic equivalent of a warm, sun-drenched blanket, escaping the harsh reality of Nashville for the blue sky simplicity of California soft rock. Creating this music allowed him to step away from the pressure of his own identity. For a few months in the studio, he did not have to be Keith Urban, the heartbroken country star. He could be an anonymous session musician, lost in the intricate, breezy harmonies of a bygone era. It was a brilliant, self-imposed exile, using the music of the past to protect his mind from the trauma of the present. To truly understand the power of Flow State, we have to look at the meticulous craftsmanship behind the album. It was not a solitary effort born out of isolation. Instead, Keith surrounded himself with a roster of musical legends who acted less like studio musicians and more like creative therapists. He collaborated with Little Big Town on a lush cover of Magnet and Steel, and he teamed up with John Mayer to bring a modern, guitar-driven soul to the project. But the crown jewel of these collaborations is the album's only original track, We Go Back, which features the unmistakable vocals of Michael McDonald. Working with McDonald, the undisputed king of yacht rock harmonies, was a deliberate move by Keith to ground the album in absolute authenticity. These collaborations allowed Keith to lose himself in the collective energy of other artists. In the studio, surrounded by friends and legends, he didn't have to carry the heavy burden of his personal life alone. If we analyze the actual production of Flow State, we can see exactly how Keith constructed his musical antidote. The album is incredibly clean, featuring pristine Fender Rhodes electric pianos, tight, compressed drum grooves, and soaring, multi-tracked vocal harmonies. On tracks like Steal Away, Keith strips away his signature aggressive guitar solos in favor of melodic, tasteful phrasing that blends seamlessly into the mix. He is deliberately holding back, refusing to dominate the sonic space. This technical restraint mirrors his mental state. By surrendering his ego to the tight, disciplined structures of 1970s studio pop, he found a sense of order and control that was completely missing from his personal life. The music is designed to make the listener feel light, unburdened, and completely disconnected from the grid. It is high-fidelity therapy, engineered to block out the noise of the headlines and the pain of the courtroom. By diving into these complex vocal arrangements and smooth, syncopated rhythms, Keith created a safe zone where the chaos of his divorce could not reach him. The choice of songs on Flow State is not accidental. Each track serves as a psychological window into Keith's subconscious mind, offering a coded language for his grief. Take his cover of Baby Come Back, a song literally about a man pleading for his lover to return, admitting that he was wrong and cannot live without her. By singing these classic lyrics, Keith is able to express his deepest regrets under the guise of a cover song. It gives him a safe space to scream out his pain without having to confess his feelings directly to the paparazzi. The same goes for his rendition of Magnet and Steel with Little Big Town. The song is a celebration of a magnetic, irresistible attraction. By recording these tracks, Keith is actively preserving the feeling of romance and love, holding on to the positive emotions of his past, even as his present reality tells a much darker story. Throughout music history, artists have handled divorce in vastly different ways. We have seen Marvin Gaye release Here My Dear, a bitter, raw double album that laid bare every detail of his marriage's demise. We have seen Fleetwood Mac channel their relationship dramas into rumors, creating a tense, emotionally explosive masterpiece. Keith Urban, however, chose a completely different path. Rather than weaponizing his art or inviting the world into his heartbreak, Keith used Flow State to create a sanctuary. It is a fascinating case study in artistic self-preservation. He recognized that indulging in anger or deep sorrow would only prolong his agony. By choosing yacht rock, he created a physical and emotional boundary between his private grief and his public persona, proving that sometimes the most courageous thing an artist can do is choose peace over conflict and comfort over pain. Ultimately, Keith Urban's journey through the aftermath of his divorce shows a man who is actively fighting to find his footing in a world that has been completely turned upside down. While Nicole Kidman moves forward into her new life, sparking rumors of new romances with high-profile businessmen and throwing herself into her career, Keith is using the smooth healing frequencies of Flow State to rebuild his spirit one chord at a time. The album is more than just a collection of yacht rock covers. It is a map of survival, a testament to the power of music as an antidote to personal turmoil. But Keith isn't the only one navigating a dramatic post-divorce reality, and Nicole's path has taken some incredibly unexpected turns of its own. If you want to understand the other side of the story and the shocking truth behind Nicole Kidman's sudden return to the dating scene, you need to click on the video on your screen right now. We are diving deep into her side of the split, her new relationship, and what really happened behind closed doors. Trust me, you do not want to miss it.